Hello, welcome to another interesting episode on Trash It. On today's episode, we've got Talia in the house, we've got Sosa in the house, we've got Mr. Jagbajantics, and we've got Ade. You should already know these people by now. But anyway, the topic we're going to be trashing today, you guys must have seen the videos on social media. We have two topics in one because they're very similar. So the first one is about a teacher in America who was fired. She was literally fired from her job because she was too curvy, okay? When she dresses to school, she looks too sexy, she was too curvy. And apparently the parents at the school had an issue with that. And they went to the school board and made the complaint. And unfortunately, that led to the teacher being fired. Now, for those of you who haven't watched the video, we can't put the video on our video because of YouTube flagging it all the time. So Mr. Jagbajantics has shared these videos on his page, and we're going to put the link to the videos at the bottom of the description. So you can click on the link and you can watch these two videos. So we're going to deal with the first one, which is the teacher who was fired in America because she was too curvy, she looks too sexy when she comes to teach. And I think she teaches grade 1 to 6 or something like that, depending on how they do the calculation over there in America. So let me come to the ladies in the house first, okay? Now, we're preaching body positivity, not body shaming, and we're saying, you know, people should be free and dress the way they would like to dress. But now, how is it that this teacher has come to school, she's not defaulting in what she needs to do, she's you know, doing the teaching that she's meant to do properly, but people can't just get their eyes off of what she looks like. So Sosa, let me come to you first. What do you think about this? Do you think what's happened to her is justified, or do you think it isn't?
Okay, I would say what happened to her. I don't want to say that it's justified or not. But because I've got primary school education in this country, I have a degree in primary school education, and I work in schools, you know, and I'm working in college right now. So every schools that I've been at, there's always code for dressing. And it's very, very important that we dress conservatively, which they know that it's just for modesty purpose. It's not as if that they want to, you know, body shame you or anything. And then secondly, it's also very important that we know what we are portraying on social media. They do actually go on to see your posts, to see what you are tagging and what you are displaying, you know. So I saw the video and I said, okay, fine. It's not her fault that she's very curvy, you know, but normally they will ask you like what I'm wearing. If I've got something that is too deep neck, you know, there's no school that will allow it. They will have to ask you to get something appropriate, you know, normally, except maybe when in the summertime, you can get away with a little bit of short sleeve. Normally, you're not allowed to wear short sleeves that will show some part. That's the schools in UK, you know, because a lot of schools have their own code of dressing. So when I saw the post, it wasn't like revealing any of my body part, but because of the way she's, you know, built, I just felt like maybe it's a little bit revealing, like revealing every curve and all that. And then social media posts as well. It's very important too, because when you go there, it's not about body positivity, because the image that you are giving, your intention might be just to say, oh, I want to have, that's me. But another parent or student looking at it, they might not have the kind of body shape that you have, you know. So they'll now be thinking, oh, why do I not look like this person? So in a way, you are doing body positivity, but the message that the other person is receiving, the way they are transferring it and they are relating it to their body curve because they don't look like you, you know, it might be doing more harm than good. So in that way, I felt like, okay, when you know that, you just need to be a little bit more conservative when you are dressing, especially when it comes to work area.
Okay.
You know?
All right. So we're looking at the code of dressing for the school, because I know every schools and workplaces, they all have their different codes and what they can and cannot wear. And obviously you've made an example with the British schools, and this lady is in America. So we don't know if they're more lenient in America. Sally, let me come to you about this. So you've seen the video of this lady. There was one of the videos, she was actually, or one of her pictures in school, she was actually wearing something that was, I think she was wearing something that was alter neck or something like that, but you could still see all the curves and everything. So, I mean, is it her fault? Was she meant to now start dressing and wearing a long boo-boo gown to school to teach?
I mean, I think it's ridiculous that she was fired. I mean, she shouldn't have been fired. But I do agree with what Sister said about dressing conduct. I think that's probably the line that the school should have gone down rather than firing her. I think that's too extreme. I mean, if this isn't her natural body, how do you fault her for having these curves? You know, we're assuming that this is her natural body here because we know what goes on in the world these days. I don't even know if I can say that these curves are natural, to be fair, because they're quite voluptuous. But I'm saying that regardless, I think you cannot fault somebody for how they look. I think what they could have said is because the picture that I actually saw of her, I think she was wearing a shirt like I'm wearing, and then she had on jeans. She was tucked in, and it was there. I think rather than putting on jeans, she could have worn like normal office trousers. So even though the curves are there, she was wearing like skinny jeans, so that obviously made the bum pronounced and the hips. If she was wearing office trousers, even though the bum will still be there, but it would, it will hide it a little bit. So I think that's the route that the school should have gone through rather than firing her. I think that's a bit over the top. But hey,
Okay.
who am I?
All right. Well, let me come to Ade. You've seen the video as well, and I know you must have seen it on Mr. Jabajantik's page when he posted it. And Mr. Jabajantik gave some very interesting commentary on the video. Okay, saying that the fathers are going to be attending the PTA meeting, doing the school drop off and pick up and all of that, just because they want to see this teacher. So Ade, let me come to you as a man. Is this really an issue? And imagine if that teacher was your wife. Would you, number one, have a problem with the way she dresses when she goes to school to teach? And would you think that, okay, well, good for you, I've been telling you not to dress the way you are dressing, and finally you have now been fired. So how would you be able to support her if she was your partner?
For me, I don't see any problem in the way she dressed because that's just her. You understand? I don't see a problem with that. That's just her. And imagine if she was working in the market, would they have a problem with mothers and kids? They're not going to have a problem with mothers and kids, right? And she has to wear what she's comfortable in. She has not exposed a nakedness. She has not shown nothing to reveal anything apart from her figure. But that's just who she is, and that's just how her body comes out when she dresses up. So I don't agree with the school. No matter what the code of conduct is, they have to say wear something you're comfortable, something not revealing. I mean, it's not showing any skin. She's not showing her nipples. She's not showing her boobs. She's not showing G-string or anything to the kids. And furthermore, these are kids. We're talking about primary school kids. What do they know? What do they know? They don't even, they might not even take notice of her. Apart from me, it's running around the teacher.
You will be surprised what kids know.
No, not those kids. Not primary
molested from home already.
Not primary school kid. I don't think primary school kid needs to know much. I don't know. I don't think they need to know. Secondary school, yes. I might say she might be a distraction. Secondary school, trust me. But primary school, who's she going to distract? The kids? No, I don't think so.
Okay.
If I have her in secondary school or college, I would be in college every day. Even when I go edit, I'll be there. But primary school, I won't notice her.
Okay. All right, Mr. Jazz, let me come to you. You ran a commentary on this, and you had quite a lot to say. So let me come to you about this before we move on to another aspect of this. What you don't, because in a way, when you look at the way she's dressed, and even when she tried to wear things that weren't revealing, it was now the physical, the outside of it that you could see, the shape and everything. Is it really the children that have an issue with it, or is it the parents that have an issue with it? And like what Esosa said earlier, some parents are looking at her and thinking, oh, well, I don't look like that. Why can't, how do you get to look like that and then come and be teaching my children? And then the jealousy can set in, and you know how these PTA parents can be. By the time they add one parent and two and sign a petition, before you know it, the woman is out of the school.
I'm sure it's mostly women that will do that.
Mr. Jazz, yes.
I can tell 2 out of 3 we have here probably do it.
So
yeah.
in my research, because I went to a page, went to the school website, checked so many things just to be able to evaluate all the sides involved, all the stakeholders of the school, which are the parents, and stuff. There was no single complaint from the school authority about this woman. She wears the same thing that everybody else wears. If we like, let us go to Mali or Somalia and go and collect hijab. That shape will still show. Have you not seen some Somali women with all their hijab and everything? The bomb will still be going. They cooperate. So one is going like this, the other is following. There is
How did you see that, this man?
So I'm just trying to say, no matter what, if she likes, let her wear turtleneck with agbada, her body will still show. And in my own fair opinion, I don't think that woman dresses to reveal or to attack anyone or to, make anybody feel uncomfortable. It is just the insecurity of the mothers, because there will be a point where the fathers will say, you know what, don't worry about the PTA meeting next week, the Parents Teachers Association meeting, I will go. Oh, don't worry, it's part of my plan to now pick up the kids, don't worry, you just go do your thing, because they want an opportunity to strike a conversation with this teacher. So that is where the insecurity is coming from. It's okay for the mothers to be human, one or two ways, all of us, we have one security or the other. It's okay. It's human to feel like that. But they too, they can always, maybe they say everybody has the right to their body, Abby. Let them go under the blade now, But if truly they sacked her, because when I was checking, she hasn't been sacked yet. But like you went, I think now, like you said, she's been sacked. But if that woman goes to the court, she's going to be smiling to the bank.
Yeah.
Because it is unfair, unjust, and uncalled for. There is no room or need for that. Primary school kids, people that are like 6 years old, 7 years old, 8 years old, what do they know about curves, shapes? Any kid, boy or girl, who comes to the school to take lectures and start looking at that woman some kind of way, that child has been molested from home. Do you get? Let me stop there. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Now let me go to another aspect, because as you rightly said, Mr. Jagbajantik, it's funny because they'll say, Muslim teachers who are Muslim, they shouldn't wear hijabs, and they shouldn't wear their face covering because the kids will not be able to identify them and all of that. And then they're trying to stop those people from dressing the way their religion wants them to dress. And then you have a teacher who is actually just dressing the way she feels she should dress. And now they have a problem with it. So it's like, it's a catch-22. What do I do? Now, let's move on to her social media post, okay? Because we can see in her social media post that there were some pictures of bikinis and all of those kind of things there. Now, Sosa, let me come to you, because you mentioned it earlier about social media. Now, does it really matter? You go to school or to your place of work, you're professional, you dress appropriately, and you do what you're being paid to do. But then when you leave school, you put whatever you want to post on your social media. That is your life. At the end of the day, everyone is entitled to a life outside of their profession. So are we now saying that this woman, because I'm sure some of the parents must have gone to her YouTube page, Instagram page and seen the pictures of her bikini and all of that, is that an issue? Can she be a teacher and also post pictures of her bikinis when she's on holiday and whatnot?
We do have trainings that they call good practice from time to time. And that good practice is really, really important. It might not be on the code of conduct in the school, but the good practice is, I've been to a training where they say, even your perfume, you have to be careful the kind of perfume that you use to work. If it's too strong, because some student, or imagine anything that that can potentially put any kind of distraction to learning.
Or influence people's emotion, is it?
Yeah. So, sorry?
I say influence people's emotion.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anything that will influence people's emotion.
Yeah, in that meeting, I actually put my hand up and said, what about the people that smoke? Because people go and have a bag during break time and they come in, and me, my nose, I will smell it, Anyway, so they will just apply the good practice. And that good practice, they ask you, because of your profession, they ask you that you extend it, because Although it's very, very important that you keep your social media private, you're not allowed to add any member of your, like your parents, the parents of any student or student to your page. But it's very easy to access anybody's page anyway. And then we have students that are like 8 years, 9 years, already have social media, they have tablets and all that. So those are the places that you're looking at. There might not be any particular rule, but they ask you to be very, very careful of whatever you are giving out. Your intention might be genuine, but it passes the wrong message. So even when there's a discussion on a post or whatever it is, if we're leaving a post there, you have to be careful. I've seen a lot of people, you know, in recent times, they were even saying that people have gotten into trouble because of their, you know, their download search on their phone, you know, like, yeah. So it's really tricky because the whole safeguarding thing when it comes to education is different. I don't know what when I saw the post, for me, I said, primary school, fine. If the school doesn't have a problem with it. But what they do normally, they will send you, they will write a letter to you, they will have meetings upon meetings with you, and they will review the case. It's the only way you are not adhering to the meetings or whatever warning that is sent to you, because I don't think that's enough grievance. There's no safeguarding issue, there's no child protection, nothing. You know what I mean? I said there's something. So that post on social media is very important. It might just be that it's your life, you know. You have to portray a lifestyle that doesn't have some kind of implication or anything that the children might see. If imagine if you are taking an 8-year-old child and they've gotten to see your profile on Facebook with your bikini, they will come and they will be giggling, you know, in classroom. You will not know. I'm telling you, they are so mischievous, these children. You will think that they are babies. No,
so
they
is
are
the onus not on the parents to keep their young children from social media?
You know what? That's the honest truth, but you cannot. What can you do? What are parents do? You cannot have your child 24/7 know what they are doing with their phone.
Yeah, but how do they get to find the teacher's profile?
It's very, very easy. They get into all the stuff. They will share it. They will do stuff. People have gotten into trouble by what they post, and the student will carry it, take it to WhatsApp group, or, you know, because they do have phones now. They have internet, and it's very, very easy for them to access. So that's why they are saying that it's even more risky if you are with younger children, that you be very careful with whatever you are portraying. We do all that when it comes to teaching good practice in school. We have special training for that, you know. So when I saw that, I said, it might not be wrong, but if it gets out of social media and maybe any of the students sees that, they are going to bring the conversation to the classroom and they're going to be talking about it and giggling about it while a lesson is going on. So just to avoid those unnecessary distractions that, you know, that can affect their learning, you know, you just keep it a bit together, just a little bit. That's my own, yeah.
Okay, thank you, Sosa. Adi, let me come to you real quick. So do you think, I mean, okay, yes, she dresses the way she dresses to school, which according to us is decent. Yes, she has those curves that come out when she dresses. But then do you think the parents obviously may have gone on her social media page and seen things, because some of the bikini she was wearing was very, very revealing. Okay, they were not exactly very, they weren't covering a lot.
You know, women, they're very curious. They're like cats, very curious creature. They like to find things that doesn't concern them, look for things that is not, they haven't lost. So they've seen the woman, they've seen the teacher, they just want to see. Some of them might be thinking, is it really real? Maybe she will have some naked pictures, some bikini picture, we can see the shape properly. Do you know what I mean? I can imagine them looking to fish out that kind of information from her and going online to look. You understand? And she's had her profile not private, openly for everyone to see. And they've seen that. And they've drawn the attention of the school to say, look, this is a teacher, this is what she's posting online, and we don't think she's a decent teacher. You know, women, whatever reason they do that, they know why they do that. Because she's not with their husband. If your husband wants to drop a child in school and say hello to her, talk to your husband, don't say hello to that teacher. Not the teacher to keep away from your husband. You know what I mean? So I think it's the mothers, they're looking for things that they don't lose, and they actually probably instigate the teacher to get in trouble.
Right, okay. Okay, let me move on to the other section of this, which is the other video that was going around about the Nigerian police officers, 2 of them. I don't know, were they twins? I really don't know, because they look so alike.
They're not twins.
Oh, twins, okay, good.
They're not twins.
Oh, they're not, I don't know.
No,
they're not twins, right? But they looked alike, they look alike. the Nigerian police officers who were suspended because they had put pictures on their social media. 1 minute they were wearing the police uniform, and then the next minute they were wearing bikinis, they were on the beach, and they were just having fun. And they posted a video on social media, but unbeknown to them, that was going to be the last of that was going to get them into a lot of trouble. So Ade, I'm going to come to you on this one first, because I know you have some insight into it. Now, again, what did they do wrong? Do women not have freedom anymore of being somebody at work and being a different person outside of work? Do we always need to carry work home and continue to act as if, yes, we're still at work even when we're at home? When do we get to let our hair down?
No, you see, there's a difference between being a police officer and being a teacher.
Mhm.
There's a different requirement. There's a different standard that you have to attain to. Do you understand? You people might think the women, the police, they have a life outside that. No, they uphold the law, all right? And when we say they uphold the law, there's things they're not supposed to reveal to the public in their way of dressing. They're not going to hold them if they go out there and wear bikini. The police don't have a problem with that. But the police authority have a problem when you now put that kind of picture and the police uniform on the same page of your social media. Do you understand? You're now putting the name and the standard of police into disrepute. Yeah, and that's one thing they will not take. You understand? The chairman police service commission is my uncle. When things like that happen or any police do something, I quickly send to him. And I'm telling you that the ladies, to ordinary people like you, they didn't do nothing wrong, but they did, right? And the good thing with police is like you already know, they're not going to be fired, right? But they're going to be suspended, and they might be demoted. You understand? So that's the worst scenario that we have, because as a police officer, right, you're going to arrest someone who walks on the street nakedly, right? You, as a police officer, someone can hold a case on someone who is sending them naked picture, right? You understand? And you'll be charged to court. So they expect the police to uphold that discipline. As a policewoman, you can have a naked picture with your husband, your boyfriend in your house, but that should not go out in the society. That's the rule, and they know that. Everybody knows that in the police. They know that. They can't say they don't know.
So Ade, because you're saying just now that, so if a police officer has an Instagram page, right? So she cannot, if she went on holiday a few months ago with her family, she was wearing a bikini. Are you saying she's not meant to post that picture on her page? Because a few pictures later, she's fully dressed in a police uniform?
If she's going to have that picture, right, it's going to be for her own use and for a set of people private, not for the whole nation to see openly. This is the rule. There's other officers that have bikini pictures, whatever pictures, but their things is private. If they were discovered and it come nationally on the news, believe me, the same thing will happen to them. The same thing will happen to them.
Interesting. Mr. Jabojantis, let me come to you on this one, because I'm struggling to sort of see the difference.
And let me quickly make a point. Also, that's happened in this country as well before.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Is that the lady that went on the Big Brother Naija show?
Yeah, that's one. There's another white lady. That was a black lady, isn't it? That went on Big Brother.
Nigerian lady.
But there's a white one that happens here.
And what happened with that one? Because I'm not familiar with the story.
Suspended.
Right, okay.
But the Nigerian one resigned by herself.
Right, okay.
She wasn't dismissed. She left because she thinks she can make money through modeling.
Right, okay. Okay. Bidemi, let me come to you. Because I kind of see the two scenarios as the same. The police officer, the teacher, they're both impacting knowledge, or I don't know if you would say the police officers in Nigeria are impacting knowledge, but anyway, I kind of see the two as the same. What do you think?
Basically, any uniform man or woman, frontline officer, and that does not only speak to regimental frontline officers, nurses, even teachers, like Sosa rightly said, you uphold a flag, you're a flag bearer, you're an image maker, you're the first in line, you're the one portraying the image of the institution that you stand for. So if you're posting your uniform, your regimental outfit, your office, and all those things on that page, you shouldn't be posting those kind of materials on the page where you promote your work. You know, your neighbors want to see you as a role model. The kids growing around you want to see you as a role model. You can't afford to post such images on the same portal where you're posting your official uniform, your police regalia, and all those things. That doesn't negate the fact that all the top orgas may be sleeping with these girls. Do you get? But the truth of the matter is, you have to. There is a name they use for this thing in Nigerian regimental industry, something that has to do with code of conduct or
It's the same everywhere, even here in the military, the same thing.
yeah. There is a set of rules that they give to them when they sign up to be an officer. This thing basically states out some the way you conduct.
The code of conduct, the way you have to behave.
That's the word, code of conduct.
Yeah.
The way you behave outside. Anything that is unruly, either it's personal or it's official, there are some things that you are not allowed to do because it creates what they call conflict of interest. That's the word, conflict of interest. That is the reason they were nailed. And I can't blame Nigerian government. Obviously, I solicit with the ladies. I feel for them. They were enjoying their private life outside work, but unfortunately, with the kind of position they hold, it is uncalled for. No.
Okay. Okay. A lot of Nigerians might argue and say, you know, they were just living their life outside of work. Yes, they put a picture on the social media. What's the big deal? Are there not enough issues with the Nigerian police that the top police commissioners can actually be tackling? For example, how they are harassing young people or harassing people basically at checkpoints on the streets. Why do they have to crack down on this particular one when there are other pressing issues that they could have cracked down?
No. I think you're not getting the point, okay? The thing is they're police officers, all right? They have to uphold the law, right? There must be other pressing issue in Nigeria, but a police officer degenerating the name and the uniform of an officer is
But
wrong.
are they police officers at checkpoints that are giving people POS to pay money? Are they
Yes,
upholding
but
the law?
are they, when they get caught, they get dismissed. They don't get.
When do they get caught?
Yes.
When do they get caught? Their orgas are the ones that are even soliciting them
Can I
to
just
No.
say what
let
a lot of things has happened?
They do. See, listen, they do get caught.
Things
Imagine.
happening recently, and thank God for social media. Thank God for people that are recording and sharing it. And believe me, I, as a person, I don't know if you remember during the COVID period, right? There was a woman in Nigeria that have a beer parlor. And there's a police task force that went to her shop and they start smashing a bottle, right? Because she opened to sell that day, okay? My other cousin, right, was the CSO to the governor of Lagos, the chief security officer, the head of the police for the governor. My uncle, his own brother, is the chairman, is still the chairman. I got that video and I sent it to my uncle's PA, right? Believe me, those people, those officers in Lagos were rounded up within a week and taken to Abuja. Do you understand? So when those things come up, I'm not talking for police. There's bad head in police, you know. They've been there for years, but they're trying as much as when they get exposed and the authority get hold of them. Believe me, they don't joke with them these days, you know. They don't, right? Like one boy that his phone was, the IG said, do not go into people's phone. And this stupid officer, they decided to go into that boy's phone. When the video went viral, what happened to them? They take them from wherever, I was sure, wherever state, Yoruba state, all the way to Abuja. You understand? They put them on TV live, dismissed, took off their badge, their uniform in front of the whole nation. You understand? So those are the things that is happening. The police are trying, there's always going to be bad egg, right? The same thing we had here. In Stephen Lawrence case, there was bad head in the police in this country. You understand? That work for the drug dealers, the gangster. There's a police, when I was young, when I was 16, 17, I forgot the guy's name. He's a police officer in Brixton. When he catch you with drug, he collects the drug, he give it to another shotter to shot for him on the street.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm talking about 95, 96, 97, 98. You understand? He was on road. Yeah, it was a black police officer, actually. It wasn't a white one. You understand? So there's bad egg everywhere. There's a way that the police can handle things. They get information. They're not going to wipe it under the carpet. People might not have trust in them to say, you dismiss them. They're probably going to put them somewhere else again. You know, it happens. The same things happen here where officers will do something, they took them off the front line, they put them behind the desk.
Of course.
You understand? So there's different ways to things, but these two officers, right, they have break their code of conduct, right? But the system understands they're human, right? That they have a life outside the police force, right? They're allowed to keep pictures of a bikini wherever they go, but they're not supposed to mix that with their military or the uniform way of life. Separate them. That's what they ask you. That's why they will suspend them. But if they continue to do that, they will dismiss them. You understand? So they will understand now, if it wasn't clear to them where the line was drawn, at least this we show to them. And we need to have that code of conduct. I've served the British Army. I know how you are supposed to behave. Do you understand? So things, there's a way that you can't just go out and do things. You know, you can't be in the British Army and the people are fighting because your friends are doing street fights. You get involved with them. You're going to get suspended or dismissed for getting involved in that. You know,
remember the case of Anini Dilo, Monday Osuba and the Yamu.
Sergeant,
As a policeman, that means an armed robber would say, after all, the police officer robbed the other day, you released him. How come you are penalizing me or, sending me to jail? So they have to lead by example. They have to scold an officer first and then scold a normal citizen, if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, but you see, the thing is, I understand, but let me come to Sally and Sosa on this one. But I understand that the police officers, they're upholding the law and they need to crack down on things and all of that. But when these ladies have now put this picture on their social media, and then the school teacher has also kind of done something similar and put her private pictures on her social media. Why is it such a big deal? Why is it that one is completely dismissed and the others is suspended? And whereas when you even look at it, it looks like what the police officer did carries more weight than what the teacher did. So I really don't understand why the two of them got different punishment. I know it's two different countries.
The teacher have got her own discipline or whatever they've done to her because the mother pressed for it. And the school have taken...
No, but I do. Can I just say something? Yeah, because Mr. Jabajanti said something. He said, whether you're a nurse, whether you're a teacher, whether you hold that office and you carry that, you carry that office. So my thing is, and to be honest, I do agree with you that the lady definitely, the girls rather, they shouldn't. I think the only thing that they did wrong is that they did that TikTok where you show your uniform and you show that you can live your best life. I agree, they shouldn't have done that. I think that was totally wrong because you're right, they do hold the office. But you guys are saying that, yeah, it's okay for the teacher to be showing her curves when I've said that the teacher could have dressed a bit more modest. So if rather than wearing skinny jeans, if you wore office trousers, her curves will still be there. They will still be pronounced, but I think the mothers will bear it a bit more. But you guys are saying, no, there's nothing wrong with, but yeah, trying to hold these police officers, which we have all agreed that they both hold an office. So why is it different?
If the teacher was a police officer, she'll wear a uniform very tight and show her cuffs. Do you know that? She'll wear a uniform, there will be no problem being an officer. There's so many officers on the street, even fire. I don't know if there's a lady who's a fire brigade and a custom in Nigeria, they're on social media. When they wear the uniform, they're heavy. When I say they're heavy, they go enter anybody's eye. You understand? But I've never seen them putting up bikini, but I can just imagine them naked. You understand? That's imagination I can have.
Okay, but that teacher also had bikini pictures on her social media. That teacher also had, because I saw the bikini pictures. Yeah. I saw one where the thong was literally
Yeah.
obviously in her bum, or you could see her bum cheeks. I mean, I feel
But
like,
but if you know,
for Nigeria,
we agree that the school should not dismiss her. She should at least suspend
I don't think the school should have
move
dismissed
her,
her.
whichever
I
way.
don't
Do you
even think she
understand?
should have been suspended. I think she should have just been, they should just said to her, you know what, can you just dress a bit more modest? And that's it, you know.
Yeah,
and
that's what I'm saying. Because she,
herself, just to show her curves.
but
So
it's
really
the
and truly,
mothers,
this woman,
it's
there's
the
nothing
people
to be
that
done.
went to dig out her pictures that create the problem. Trust me.
But how do we know that it's the mother's self?
Who's gonna
You
put
know,
the picture?
mothers can even be
You
worse.
probably it as if the mothers that did that. I think the thing is, whatever office you're holding, yeah, you're holding an office that deal with the public. It just, they call it, it's not code of, apart from code of conduct, they're training about good practice, which actually relates to every little nitty-gritty around your life and what you represent. You know, it looks like they are invading into your privacy, but the thing is, you chose this profession and you understand what it takes. So you can actually, it's like being a lawyer. I think if you're a lawyer, you cannot take part in a beauty competition or so. It used to be one of the rules in Nigeria. I don't know if they don't do it now. If they still do it, you know, lawyers are not allowed to take part in any beauty competition, any like Miss World and all that, you know. So it is their own kind of practice. You cannot come and change the system. So, and it's just common sense. Because I don't know how you're going to feel if you stand tomorrow in an office and you are talking to somebody, trying to reprimand somebody, and the person has seen you and your butt shake on the internet, and it looks like you are a caricature of what, you know what I mean? No one is going to take you serious. That's how the human brain works. You know, I'm not saying that it's your life, but you just be a little bit conservative. And you know that if you know that you cannot do that, leave your career and go and do something. Nobody is going to, if you're okay, I don't want to talk about social worker because I don't know what they do as well. But there are some offices, maybe you are into your estate, in your whatever you are doing. I don't think anybody's going to accuse you. But there are some offices where they just expect you to do a little bit more because of what you represent and what you carry.
Right, Mr. Jags, coming. You're on mute, Mr. Jags.
If that woman was a man, kissing his boyfriend on every holiday, posting it on his page, doing all sorts of Bobrisky shenanigans, everybody will say something else. Do you agree? They will say it's okay. Even in school, they're teaching our kids how to go into relationship with men from primary school. So why are they so harsh on the woman, but they're never harsh when it's a matter that has to do with man?
You have not compared that together. If you want to compare women, you know this. What is this show that men, they dance naked? What's this show in City? I think what do they call them?
They dance naked?
Where they wear just tongue and they dance, you know.
Strippers?
Is it Naked Attraction?
It's called
It's
called Gay Pride. Gay Pride.
No, there's a name they call these boys that they just go on and dance.
Drag queen.
It's not drag. They're guys. They have oil. They oil of their body, and they kind of show you. They do that. They're not.
Is it Magic Mike?
Magic Mike, yeah. For example, if you as a student and as a mom and one of your primary school, like a year 6, which is about 10 years old daughter, comes back and they say, oh, my teacher is one of the Magic Mike, you could be like, whoa, you know. So you can compare with that, not somebody's sexuality. You can compare with that.
But they will never fire the teacher for that.
What?
They will never fire the teacher for being in Magic Mike.
No, that if you're doing that, you have to be very careful.
They will say we're discriminating against LGBTQ category.
No, Magic Mike doesn't have to. It's not sexuality. Magic Mike is just guys that entertain. It's like a stripper, and they just go and you put money, give them money, and some of them put some socks in to make sure that they are really, really robust, you know. And when they go there, they scream, they shout. It's a nice show.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Interesting. Interesting.
I just think it's I don't know, and I know the men are gonna attack me on this, but I just think it's a little bit double standard of Nigeria, especially Nigeria police, to be, you know, hounding 2 young ladies that are wanting to do their job, but obviously just want to show the world that, you know,
You can be a police officer
I'm
and
not
have
like this
fun.
on the weekend, and this is how I go to work. You know, when Nigerian police, I think it was Mr. Jabajanti that said that he's sure that some of the superior stuff are even trying to, you know, track those girls, and the superiors are even doing worse. And I just think that, you know, it's a bit double standard. These young girls are trying to live honest living. You know, yes, they still want to live their best life, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I do agree though that the mistake they made, they shouldn't have used
If
their.
you're a military person, you will understand the rule. Because you've never been a military person, you will never understand.
I'm not saying that obviously rules are there to be kept and to be followed, and rules are there to guide. What I'm saying is they made a mistake. Now, thankfully, they haven't been sacked, and I hope they will not be sacked. What I am just saying is a little
And
bit.
here is the man that disciplined them. You see him there with me?
Mm-hmm.
I beg, leave that man, Jerry. That man will probably be doing worse. I know
He's
he's
not.
your husband,
Absolutely.
but he's probably doing so much worse. You know, these girls, I understand that obviously they've done something wrong. They should be, I don't know, Sha. I just,
No,
yeah.
you know, my
You
dad
know
used
the
to say
difference.
that. My dad
The
in Nigeria, my dad
police
would
officers were not
say,
sacked.
dog is cheats. It's you know, like fool. See, but the one that you see it drop on his mouth, that's what they say. Oh, this is what you know what I mean. So they are doing it. They don't say don't do it. Do whatever you want to do, but be a little bit discreet about it, just because of the position you are holding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The truth
Okay,
of
I
the
mean, for me, it's very discreet, especially things that I say because I'm a nurse, and things that I say on social media, things that are, you know, can be really, really obscure. I wouldn't necessarily come and flash myself in my nurse's outfit and then do my bikini, but that's just me personally. And I would like to think that if I did that, nobody would, you know, hold me hostage for actually just doing what somebody else would do. So that doesn't mean that I'm not good at my job. That doesn't mean that I don't look after my students. Just
They
when
won't
I'm
even
home,
let you wear a crucifix in peace. They won't even let you wear a crucifix in peace as a nurse.
Exactly. You see,
I think
so I don't know.
got that kind of practice where they just try and, you know, make sure that whatever position, because people actually take a lot of things out of context, to be honest with you. You might just innocently post a picture of you wearing a nurse uniform, and some silly men that have this stupid fantasy for, they're going to be saving your pictures, and they don't want money coming to the hospital where you work.
Yes,
So, you know, so those are the things, because the world has gone crazy and people go to different extents, you know. So I think it's just a lot of things happened before. They've seen many experiences, and that's why they go back and review this, their law or whatever it is. That's why it comes a little bit stricter and stricter and stricter. You know, I as a mom, I don't have I know in primary school there's this thing they call it, is it mommy says nigger or great mommy nigger? In every school they have this clique of moms that come in the morning to drop their children off. They stand by the gate, they all meet each other there. That is where they gossip about other moms. Some of them, they've not even brushed their teeth. They have their head nets on. They are waiting there.
God bless you for this.
You know, that's when the cliques start coming up. And they come for a teacher. If your name is brought to that clique as a teacher, you are going to be in for it. They will even talk about you, gossip people they are at home where their children will hear. And then the children comes to school and become rebellious to you because of what they're talking about you, the gossip they have about you. So I think just all that, just what they're trying to avoid. Because sometimes if the system is there and even if it's not something that is pleasant, but because it's already there and there is a strong foundation for it, it's difficult for it to bend. The system you cannot bend the system is going to bend you and break you. You know?
Okay.
Fighting here last 2 weeks. Mothers in front of the school. White girls. Anyway, go ahead, Celia.
I'm just reading some of the comments on the post, that was on Instablog about these police officers, right? Someone called Ihama Luxury. She said, I'm even speechless you could do the bikini photo without actually putting it side by side to the police uniform. In that way, no one will say that you are bringing disrespect to the profession. Every profession has a code of conduct, which is what Ade and you guys have been talking about. So what this person is saying is, you could have still done your bikini photo, but you didn't have to put it side by side with the police uniform. But then that makes me wonder, so is it that you cannot put that bikini, if you already have your police uniform pictures on that Instagram page or Facebook page, You cannot now put any bikini picture or any sort of picture like that on the same page. Is that what this is?
That's right. That's right.
Right, okay. Right, okay. Another person said, and the notorious robbers in black uniforms are left on road extorting people illegally. Or more, this country weak me. Okay, this is what I was saying earlier. You know, they're doing this and saying, oh, you can't do this, but then they have police officers on the street extorting money from people. Okay, another person said, Nigeria is still in 1960s. I wish they applied the same policies to their corrupt top officers. Why can't they keep the same energy for those people that are looting money, for the termites that are eating millions and billions of money? And they tell me, you have an uncle, why can't they keep that same energy? That's all they really need to do, keep the same energy.
To keep on who? On people
on the
that are
top
corrupt.
police officers that are the police officers that are extorting, the politicians that are sharing money.
What you need to understand is the authority is not with them on the street. They have their team leader, their squad leader that leads them. There'll be a sergeant or an inspector with them. And if they're all in the same clique and they're doing something, the headquarters of the police, the commissioner will not know. So how do we have to rely on the society to complain, right? And when you complain and you have evidence, they would take it up and deal with them.
Right. Okay. Yeah,
I think this one has to do with that in-house sanitizing, you know. So when you talk about picking and choosing why you know this and why that, I can understand where this police officer one is coming from, because first of all, they just want to keep their house in order as a police officer because that's the name that they hold, and they want to give that good example there that if the politicians, if a police officer is being caught with bribery, they can openly, you know, we've seen them on social media. They do actually openly, you know, give them, discipline them or punish them or whatever I mean, you know. So this is their own house. They are cleaning their house and keeping their house in order.
Yeah,
I don't think anybody has the right to tell them, or why are you not using that energy to go and do something else outside, you know?
No, but why aren't they cleaning? Or what about all those police officers that take bribes? Why aren't they cleaning those ones?
That's what I'm saying. If it's being caught, oh, have you seen any police officer that will go and record him taking a bribe and put it on his social media to say, I'm here, I'm a police officer and I'm taking bribe?
Yeah.
They won't do that, you know? So if anybody is caught, that you're doing it is against what police stands for, they need to openly. And if they even try to pretend them and lie about it, but they do actually get them. I've seen some posts where, you know, a police officer is being recorded or something, and they do actually discipline them. I know that it's not going to be 100%. Even this one that we're talking about, all those guests that you're talking about, I'm sure they probably have spoken to them, and I'm sure that they will still have some police officers there that are not morally, that are morally bankrupt according to some people.
Mm-hmm.
But because you know, the system will pick some will be victim and some will be getting away with stuff. So
I think it's safe to say, unfortunately, they've been made a scapegoat out of. They've been made an example of to the others. And I mean, I think it was Ade that said it earlier. I like it if this is the change, because we've been clamoring for change and we want things to change. If this is the beginning of the change that we've been requesting for, then fair enough, then that's good. Because I've seen the video of the police commissioner, I don't know what position he's in the Nigerian police force, where he said, no police officer on the checkpoint should ask you for money. They should not ask you to search your phone because they have no right to do so. And when somebody's phone was still searched by a duty police officer on the checkpoint, and they reported it, and the video went viral, those police officers were you know, sacked, and we saw the video of how they did it as well, which is good, right? So that is the change that we want. But at the same time, we're hoping that this continues, and then gradually we can start to see proper change, you know. But anyway, I think on that note, we're going to end it now. And I suppose, I know you mentioned earlier about social workers. Social workers, we most of us work for local authorities, or maybe you work in the private sector. And as a social worker, you are the representative of the local authority or the organization that you work for. So at all times, you have to be appropriately dressed. Okay, nobody's interested in seeing your breasts or your cleavage or anything like that. Short skirts, no, because you're working with vulnerable people, adults, children, teenagers, and you don't want to create the wrong impression. You're going into people's homes to assess, to provide support. You don't want a situation whereby you go and wear something that's revealing, and before you know it, somebody's that. So for social workers, there is a strict code of conduct that we must all adhere to. And I suppose that's how it is for all professions, especially when you're a civil servant. You know, you're expected to dress in a certain way that upholds the dignity of the profession that you're representing. Okay, exactly. But anyway, on that note, I'm going to end it now. And as I said earlier, before you go into any profession, know what the code of conduct is, the dressing, know what you're putting on. You cannot get into a place where they have strict codes and then you start trying to dress differently. And then when you're reprimanded for it, you start shouting Black Lives Matter, or you start saying the discriminated issue and all of that, right? So you have to know what you're getting yourself into, okay? But anyway, on that note, we're going to end it. Thank you for joining us again. It's been an interesting topic to trash, and I hope people that have been watching this have learned one or two things from it. And on that note, we'll see you next week. Take care and have a blessed weekend.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.